Let's quickly break down everything you know about the new DMZ mode here in Warzone 2. That way you can watch this video and start playing. Before we even start this video, the single biggest piece of advice I can give for the DMZ mode is play in a squad of 3. Yes, you can play this mode in solo, but it is going to be brutal and it is going to be a very hard experience. People can make it work, but they're people who have done it for a while and are pretty experienced with it. So make sure you're playing with 3 people. If you don't have friends to play with, I'm going to have my Discord link below. There's a ton of people in it and we've got a bunch of channels for people looking for people to play DMZ with. Now, starting off, the first thing you know about DMZ is what you're supposed to be doing. There's tons of things around the map. There's a lot of different objectives you can do, but the main thing is going to be the main campaign. If you load into the DMZ menu, you're going to see right here, you've got the faction missions. And with this, I've got a lot of them unlocked. When you first start playing DMZ, there's only going to be 4 different missions here, and it's only going to be for the Legion group. As you play more and do more of these main quests, you're going to unlock more of them. They're going to get more difficult. After you do enough of the Legion quest, you're going to unlock the White Lotus quest. And after you do enough of the Legion and the White Lotus quest, you're then going to unlock the Black Mouse quest. And as you progress through these, you're going to unlock a ton of stuff. As you can see here, you're going to get some XP, you're going to get some keys, and we'll get into what those do in a little bit later. You're going to get some different emblems, and you'll actually be able to unlock blueprints that can be used in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. So you can only select 3 different missions at a time. And if you look over here on the right, these are the 3 missions we have selected. As soon as we finish one of these, we can leave DMZ, come back, and replace that mission for another one. But all 3 of these missions can be done at the same exact time while you're in DMZ. And yes, once you finish a mission, you actually need to go back to this menu and make sure you select another one, or else you're not going to be making any progress. So they read off pretty self-explanatory. Extract with a full backpack. If we do that, we're going to complete this quest, we're going to get these rewards, and we're going to be able to move on with the campaign. Next, you need to know how DMZ actually works, and this works differently than any other COD mode we've ever had, so let's break it down. If you open up the menu, there's a lot going on. We're not going to cover the store tab, the battle pass tab, the operator tab. That's all cosmetics and works the same as everywhere else. However, when you go into the weapons tab, this is where all the magic of DMZ is. There are some items you can permanently save after you bring them out with you. There are some items you're always going to be forced to have on you and you're not going to be able to store it here. And there's some items you're not going to be able to even take out of the game with you. So here's our on soldier. On soldier items are items you can actually take out of the game, but you can't store them anywhere. So no matter what, once you get these items, if you load back into game, you're going to have them with you. This being the armor carrier, the gas mask, the kill streak, and the self revive. So if we were to load into DMZ and we were going to get a tier 2 armor carrier, we would actually take that out of game with us. Same thing. If we picked up a gas mask, we would have that right now on our soldier. And if we loaded back into game, we would have these items. However, if we died, we would go back to the default state, which is this right here. Armor carrier, there's 3 different tiers. There's tier 1, 2, and 3. Tier 1 being the one you have by default. Then we have the small backpack. There's also a medium and a large backpack. By default, you're always going to have the small backpack. And you can see there are different keys here. These are items where if you take these out of the DMZ mode, you can store them. So if we unequip that right here, it's going to go in our key stash, and these open different areas around the DMZ mode. And you'll never lose these unless you take them into DMZ with you and die with them, or use them all 3 times. Each key can only be used 3 times, and you can see how many times you've used it on the side here. Then we have our loadout. Starting with the weapon here, we have the contraband weapons. These are the weapons that you've gone into DMZ, taken out of the DMZ, and Exfilled with. And if you take these back into DMZ and die with them, like if we set our loadout like this, if I go in there, die immediately, I will lose this shotgun and you will never get this shotgun back. However, you can get more contraband weapons by going into DMZ, grabbing weapons, and you can hold a total of 3 of them if you have a large backpack. Take them out and they'll show up right here in the stash. Right now, you can have a total of 20. More importantly, we have our insured slots, and this is where the magic happens. By default, you have 1. You can get 2 more insured slots by, leveling up, doing the campaign missions. This works like a normal multiplayer gunsmith. So any weapon you have unlocked in MP, you can go ahead and make a class with any of all that stuff. Since I've got them all unlocked, I can use any weapon I want. Then you can also customize this weapon just like you would with MP. Any unlocked attachments you can put on, you can even tune them. You can put camos, charms, all that stuff you want to, and you'll never permanently lose these. If I were to take this in DMZ right now and die with it, since it's insured, I will get any weapon I want back in this slot after a certain amount of time. I think it's like an hour or so. So if you just want to play a game a day, you could use this insured slot. And if you don't exfil, no matter what, in a couple hours, if you come back, you'll be able to use this exact same weapon or even make a new custom weapon. Then on top of that, we have the rest of the class. This is all freebies. Make sure before you go into DMZ, you're actually selecting this stuff. This is an additional weapon. So yes, once again, if we take a contraband weapon, we're going to lose that forever. But you spawn in with one tactical completely free. So let's say we want to spawn in with a stim. If we select this, we're now going to have a stim. Once again, any lethal, I'm going to take a Simtex. Then you also get a free field upgrade. The two best ones are munition box and battle rage. Maybe there's some other strats with the other ones I don't know about yet, but I usually take in the ammo because we're going to be killing a lot of bots. And that is everything you know about the weapons menu here in DMZ. Now it's time to find a match. If you're not playing with two other players, make sure you turn on squad fill. This is going to pair you with two random people, and that is so much better than playing solo. We're going to click deploy. It's going to make sure you accept all the missions. Same thing, the loadout. We already went across all that. Now we're going to search for a match. Once you load into game, you can open up your map to see everything that's going on. And yeah, there's a lot of different things to do. Starting off on the left, you're going to have all of your main campaign missions going on. And if it tells you to go to a certain area, so right here it says to travel to this city, you can look around on the map, zoom out, and it's going to kind of give you a general area. I think we're already getting shot at. So with this, we could find that area. We could drop off when it's wanting to drop off. I think that area is somewhere over here. It might take a while. I still haven't learned the entire map myself. And there's going to be bots. So there's going to be real players and bots that are playing with you. The people that you're going to see right off spawn, these are just bots. You could kill them and pick up a weapon. If you didn't spawn in with a weapon, you mainly want to watch out for the real people. The bots can be very dangerous when you're in certain areas, though. The bots can be super freaking deadly. And I have lost multiple games to the bots. Overall, I don't know the exact player count, but there's almost something like 60 real people playing in this match at the same time with you. Everyone else is going to be a bot. One thing you always want to keep an eye on while you're playing DMZ, if you look on the left side of the screen right below the minimap, there's going to be a countdown. This starts off with 25 minutes when you first load in. Once it hits 0, the zone's going to start to collapse just like in Warzone. And as it goes through the different Exfil sites, it's going to close them, leading to one Exfil site in the middle. Any players remaining on the map all have to share that one Exfil site, which usually just ends up with all the teams slaughtering each other till one team Exfils at the end. So make sure if you have a lot of stuff that you want to make sure you leave with, you get on an Exfil site before the zone collapses, or else you're going to have to fend for yourself with that last zone. Just like Warzone, there's going to be loot all over the place. However, there's now going to be different loot because now you have different things you can sell and gain currency from. Using the map, you're going to be able to find a ton of vehicles, which is the quickest way to get around different parts of the map. There's different vehicles and different attributes. We're not going to go over all that, but yeah, you can mark it on the map. You can go there, and this is the best way. Like, let's say you need to travel way over here. Yeah, you're not going to do that on foot. Definitely make sure you get a vehicle for that. Vehicles in this mode are actually going to have limited amount of fuel. However, if you go to a gas station, you're actually going to be able to repair the vehicle and fully refuel it. This is what gas stations look like on the map. Now, besides the main campaign mission, there's also going to be contracts all over the map. These are these little green things. So we can go ahead and mark one if the bot would stop shooting me, and we can go ahead and pick this up and start this contract. So here we go. This is a find and upload intel contract. So if we go ahead and start it, once you start a contract, it's going to mark a location on the map for you. You can see it right there. And it's also going to give you a quest. This one reads off, locate laptop with a hard drive. There's quite a few different quests, but I'm not going to go through them all in this video because most of them are very self-explanatory. It's going to tell you exactly what to do, and it's going to tell you where to go. So if you can read that, you're going to be able to follow through and get the mission done. And here we go. Now that we finished the contract, we got some XP and we got the reward of $5,000. Keep in mind, if you start a contract, you don't have to finish it. If everything start getting too hot and you just want to leave, you can just leave at any point. There's no penalty for stopping a contract early or just not completing it. This right here on the map is a UAV tower, and these are super helpful. So once we go to the area we showed on the map, we can go up to this and we can activate this UAV tower. Once we do this, it's going to scan a UAV, and if you look at the mini map, it's showing us all the location of the bots, and it's also going to reveal other players. However, this is going to alert your location to other people. Other people on the map are now going to see this as red and know that you're in this part of the map, and they might hunt you down. However, I personally haven't had a lot of issues with that, and every time I'm in an area, I activate this UAV because it makes it looting a lot easier, because now you know where the bots are and you can kind of go around and just avoid them. And you can also see if other real players are in this area with you. If you ever completely run out of ammo, there's actually going to be these ammo supplies right here, and they're even going to be marked on the mini map. They look like 3 little bullets next to each other. The cash you earn during the match is only useful for 2 things. The first one you can use to buy stuff at a buy station. If you look on your map, you're going to find these little shopping carts that look just like this. If you go here, just like in Warzone, you can do a few things. You can sell valuables. This is stuff you find around the map. You can sell that. You can buy different weapons, but I'm gonna be honest, I'd rather just loot weapons or spawn in with them. It's not really worth the price tag. Then you've got gear. You can buy more armor plates, which this is extremely helpful. I find myself going to buy stations all the time to buy armor plates, munition box if you're out of ammo, gas mask if you're going into a zone. There's also different sorts of backpacks. Usually I find myself looting these instead of buying these. You can get a Stronghold key card. You can get an LT with turret. This is a straight up like full on vehicle that's got a turret on top, a UAV, which is super helpful. And usually it has keys and other stuff in it. On the other hand, if you don't want to spend your money at a buy station, when you go to leave the match in Exfil, all of the money that you have on you is going to get converted to XP. There's a bunch of strongholds all over the map. If you go inside these, there's going to be loot, and some missions are going to make you do this. There's 2 ways to get a stronghold key, which is 100% needed to get inside. One, you can get it from a buy station, or you can find it on the ground or looted from enemies. It is fairly rare, and a lot of times you'll find them on other players, but the easiest way to go about it is to buy it from a buy station, and it's not going to be inside every buy station. Now, once you've acquired a stronghold key, you can use it to unlock any of the doors at a stronghold, but be careful, there's going to be a lot of armored people in here, and they're going to have shields, which are pretty annoying to deal with, so having grenades for these dudes are going to be very helpful. Inside a stronghold, you're going to find loot and a stronghold boss. Overall, you don't get a ton of stuff for doing this, so I usually don't go out of my way to do strongholds unless I have to do it for a mission, or if I just happen to have a key and it's on my path towards something else. When you're walking around the map, keep an eye out because there's hidden loot caches all around the map. This is what they look like, and these actually spawn in predetermined areas, and I just spawned in. This one came with a level 3 vest. There's tons of little places all over the DMZ map, like the police academy, the US embassy, and I'm right by the museum. These are what you're going to use the keys for. As you can see, if you go up to it, it is locked, and those were the keys that we showed at the beginning of the video. You can find those around the map by, looting them off of enemies, or you can also buy them at buy stations. For the most part, I don't really do that often in DMZ. From the few that I've looted, there wasn't really great loot. And unless a mission specifically making me do it, then I usually skip out on those. But I would recommend still saving those keys and exfilling with them, because you might get a mission in the future that has you go to the museum and do something there, and you're going to want the key for that specific purpose. At the beginning of every DMZ match, there's going to be a weapon case that spawns in. You're going to be able to find it right here on the map. This is what it's going to look like. If you go to this area, there is going to be a Juggernaut carrying a briefcase. If you kill him, the easiest way to kill him is just to hit him with a car. He will insta-die. If not, shoot him in the head. It's going to take quite a few bullets. Once he drops this case, if you pick it up and you exfil with this case, you're going to get a reward. Only one of these spawns in per match, so it's first come, first serve. As soon as anyone picks it up, they're going to be marked for everyone else on the map as a little red briefcase. So once you're trying to exfil with this, everyone's going to know where you're at, and you're going to be under a lot of heat. In every match of DMZ, there's going to be a radiation area. This is what it looks like in the map. You want to have a gas mask when you're in this area, or you're going to take constant damage. There are going to be chemists in this area. If you take down these chemists, they're going to drop the M13 blueprint. If you take that to an exfil and leave the game, you're actually going to unlock the blueprint. As of right now, that's the only way to get the blueprint. And now for the final and most nerve-wracking part of the whole DMZ experience, the exfil. You've got your loot, now let's keep it. You want to look for this blue guy on the map leaving a door. Once you get to that area, you're going to see green smoke. What you want to do is call an exfil helicopter, and just hopefully you don't get bombarded by enemy combatants. At this point, you're going to want to hide because it's going to take a little bit for the helicopter to come in. It's not an instant thing, and other people in the nearby area are going to know that you're exfilling here. Now, if other people do show up, you can talk in game chat and you can see if they'll team with you and allow you to exfil together, but good luck pulling that off. I've only ever seen that happen a few times. Once the helicopter approaches, you want to get in. You're going to have about 30 seconds once it gets here, or it's going to leave without you. Once you get in and your whole squad's in here, it's going to count down from 5. The helicopter is going to proceed to lift off, but do not let your guard down. Even though you're in the helicopter, you can still die. If you're peeking out looking for enemies, they could shoot you. And if you're playing solo, that's it. You just lost, and you were in the helicopter, but you were being too busy peeking. You weren't keeping your guard up, and you just lost everything. Once you're pretty high up in the air, you're pretty safe. And yeah, past this point, if you just wait a little bit longer, everything we have in our inventory, we were able to keep. We successfully did the exfil here. And with that, it's going to turn all the extra items in your inventory that you can't keep into XP. All your cash is going to get turned into XP and all that. With that, I'm going to be making a ton of more DMZ guides in the future. I plan on fully unlocking everything in this mode, completing all that stuff. If you want to follow us on that journey and see some more advanced tips, make sure to sub to the channel. If you left a like or a comment, I appreciate you a ton. And let me know how you're enjoying DMZ so far. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.